So he went in his pockets to help the man and discovered that he didn't have nothing to help nobody. He searched and he searched and he couldn't find anything. So he shook the beggar's hand and he said to him, he says, "Brother, I don't have anything to give you." And the beggar began to smile and his face began to light up. And he held his hand there and he looked at him and he said, "Yes, you do. You just did. Wow. The greatest gift of all. You call me brother." So, Christian friends, and what mankind needs most of all is love.
Love, yes.
Love that extends from heart to heart, from one to the other. Call him or her brother or sister. You see, neither eloquence or gifts or knowledge or faith or sacrifice will serve to substitute for love.
Right, that's right. That's right.
What the world needs now is love. Love is a necessary condition for the success in our lives. And it especially helps the pastor and his wife to tread those lonely roads and smooth the path of duties. Love will pull the bow which impels the arrow of obedience. Pastors need encouragement also. Love will cause you to treat others as you want to be treated. And sometimes this is the key to a lot of things. People often ask me, "Those people are so nice to you." And I think to myself, I'm nice to them. You ought to practice treating people the way you want to be treated. So, Sister Bernstein, I'm going to throw this in today. One of the key things that I found that worked for me for years as a pastor's wife was that I tried to treat others the way that I wanted to be treated.
All right.
And it worked.
All right.
It worked. It worked. I bet I couldn't bring up, I maybe could bring up one of the incidents that happened throughout the year. But basically, people have been so kind and so loving toward me. And I really think it's because I chose to do it God's way and treat them the way I wanted them to treat me. So there's lessons in that. Love will cause you to submit willingly on the altar of service and will put beautiful rainbows in your dark clouds. Even as pastors, there are times in service to the Lord that we're made to wonder what it's all about. What am I doing? And why am I going through all of this? But God has a way of putting a rainbow in the sky.
Yes, He does.
Just when you feel like the sun is not going to shine anymore, God will put a rainbow in the sky. And so today, Pastor Bernstein and Sister Bernstein, I've come to remind you that love never fails. And to encourage you to keep on dreaming. Yes, the road does get rough and the going does get tough and the hills do get hard to climb. But I promise you, if you just hold on and don't give up, God will put a rainbow in the sky. Dreams can give you hope for a better day with great possibilities ahead. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. That's in Ecclesiastes 13:12. When hope gets sick and dies, man becomes sick at heart. And life becomes empty. That's why you see so many people just barely can get to the church door, just don't really want to go in. All hope is gone.
Yeah.
And it has sickened their hearts.
Yes.
Dreaming and hope are closely connected. So let's just take a brief look. My son, pastor, told me, not long, Mom. Let's talk about dreaming for a little while.
All right. All right. Let's talk about it.
Talk about dreaming for a little while. We all are familiar with that. And look at, I'm not going to read it all, but Genesis 37, 18 through 20 begins the story that I want to just focus on a little bit. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near to them, they conspired against him to slay him. And you know who I'm talking about. Who am I talking about? Joseph. Let's go to Sunday school on Saturday.
Come on.
Go now, therefore. Let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some evil beast hath devoured him. And we shall see what becomes of his dream.
Wow.
Yes. In our world, there have always been dreamers. But our world has known few master dreamers. I'm sure many of you dream. As a little girl, I used to dream all the time. And still do dream as an older lady. Pastor, I'm sure you dream all the time. Dream about this church and the possibilities. So I just came by today to encourage you to continue to dream. Let's look a little closer at this story about Joseph. Joseph's father dreamed dreams. But they weren't very significant dreams. They were not dreams that were going to affect the world as much as did the dreams of Joseph. Jacob's dreams dealt with his own problems of sin, conniving, and deceit. One of his notable dreams was the one which came while he was fleeing from his brother Esau's wrath. When he had a remarkable vision at Bethel of a ladder, you know the story, reaching up to heaven. And on that occasion, a promise was made to him, similar to that which God made with Abraham at that same spot. His next notable dream came when he feared revenge from his brother, Esau, who was coming to meet him with 400 men. It scared him. He was scared of a possible war. He prayed and spent the night wrestling with the angel of the Lord, who appeared to him and from whom he would not depart unless the angel agreed to bless him. In the course of his struggle, his thigh was disjointed. You know the story. But Jacob, disabled in strength, resorted to what he knew worked: prayer and supplication. Now we come to the place to take a look at Joseph for a little bit, one of the younger sons of Jacob. Joseph had the calmness, the shrewdness, the big-heartedness, and the faith of Abraham, along with the holy reverence and much of the gentleness of Isaac. He learned to fear God at an early age. Joseph became the object of his brother's dislike. Because he was a dreamer, his dreams pointed to his being raised far above from one day. In other words, they saw him being over them. So jealousy resulted. So I just want to briefly leave a few thoughts with you and close this out. Number one, love often leads you on a long journey.
Oh, yes.
How many of you believe that?
Yes. I know it. Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm trying to calm down. I want to get to this end. Because I want to act up.
All right. We're ready. Come on in here. We're ready. All right now.
okay for a little while.
All right. All right.
But Joseph became the object of his brothers' dislike. You know the story.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
They just didn't like these dreams that he had. And in churches, a lot of times, people don't like it.
Oh, minister today.
When you're dreaming.
Oh.
They say they do, but they don't really like it.
Yes.
You know, Joseph had to work. Yes, he had to.
Yes.
Lord, I'm getting all worked
Help
up.
a Lord. We're ministering today.
Had to go through a lot. He kept on telling his dreams, though.
Yeah.
He kept on telling his dreams. So we got to keep on telling our dreams. You know, Jacob made his son Joseph a coat of many colors because he was the son of his favorite wife, Rachel. He worked 7 years for one, and his daddy Laban gave him the wrong one. They had to work 7 more years to get the one he really wanted, Rachel. Well, I guess it's true that sometimes the first time around just don't work. You gotta go another round. Now, I'm not going to open that up. So many times in ministries, it's similar. You think you got it all together and you work very hard only to find out you got to start all over again. All over again. Okay. Joseph was the son of his beloved Rachel. And so God really honored Joseph too. He was thrown into the pit by his brothers, sold into slavery and thrown into prison in a strange land. But he was still the master dreamer. Nothing stopped him from dreaming. Nobody could take away his dreams of the reality of them. The first thing that I told you is sometimes ministry, love can take you on a long, lonely road. And then, secondly, remember that Joseph kept on telling his dreams. Because somebody don't like you or don't understand or don't want to hear your dreams, you got to keep on telling. You got to keep on going. It was not because he was a favorite or because he was so spoiled, but he had to tell his dreams. One day Joseph was told to go to see how his brothers were doing, and it was about 20 miles away. So he went to Shechem to try to find his brothers, but they weren't there. He went on to Dothan. And when they had saw him afar off, they conspired to kill him. That's the text. So, Pastor Bernstein, and to all of us here today, you got to be careful who you tell your dreams to.
Come. Oh, yes. Yes.
Time to take a break. We like to tell things, but sometimes we tell them to the wrong people.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh.
Even in our own household. This was Joseph's brothers that he was telling it to. And they conspired to kill him. If your own flesh and blood can't take it,
My God.
what do you think about other people?
Right?
Be very careful. People ask me all the time, what you doing? What you gonna do? When you gonna do it? Where you gonna go? Who gonna go with you? I don't know. I might say something, I might not.
Right.
But it'll be hard for you to catch me down the road. Unless I intentionally want you to catch me down. You gotta be very careful. There are preachers who go to do revivals, pastors who go to do revivals. And Jackie knows I'm telling the truth. They'll go, and then next thing you know, somebody done heard they're going to be there, and there they are, and
There it is.
playing the roles that they don't own.
Right. Talk, Sister Lee.
That's the truth.
You telling the truth.
That's the truth.
You telling the truth.
If his wife didn't show up,
You telling the truth.
this is my turn. But people look to see what she looks like. They try to decide which one is it. Which one is it? Which one is it? So, you know, you got to be very careful telling your dreams to different people. Because people have motives, and sometimes that, you know, and we have a lot of women in here, brothers, excuse me for a minute. But you know, women.
Help us.
You know, we know how to do this thing when we really want to. And we love to tell stuff.
Lord. Oh, you in here. You in here.
You right.
So like the text is talking. Be careful. I'm not going to go off into this. I have to be careful because, you know, I get tired since my sickness. And I got to reserve that for what's really counting here. But be careful. Be careful. Everybody's just not happy.
Right.
When God favors your life, or when God
That's real talk. That is real talk.
to do things out there.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know, I'm understanding more and more what my daddy meant when he used to tell us a moving target is hard to hit. You got to keep it moving. And you got to keep it dreaming. You got to keep it fresh.
Receive that.
And then the third thing I'm going to say is jealousy is evil. Jealousy blinds the spirit of love. It darkens the soul and kills the spirit of love. It is a tragic waste of time to envy another because of his or her talents, his or her treasure or good fortune. God is the giver of these things, and you have no control over them. These brothers had within their hearts seeds of destruction and were destined to live with the heaviness of their guilt. They knew what they were doing. Believe me, whatever is done to hurts the hurter more than the one who is hurt. I hope you got that. I hope you got that. We must remind ourselves over and over again to trust God with all of our hearts, lean not to our own understanding, but in all of our ways. I mean all of our ways. Acknowledge Him and He will direct our path. Okay? God is still on the throne.
Yes, He is. Yes, He is.
So through it all, Pastor Bernstein, God is still on the throne. You see, man can kill the dreamer, but he can never kill the dream. And we see this with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. being a perfect example. And I'm sure you can call names of many others. The jealousy of the brothers of Joseph did not change God's plan. So I can be jealous of you, but if God has a plan for your life, you know that song, the five things what God has for me.
It's for me. Say that. Please say
So,
Glory
don't allow people
Yes.
to dictate to you
Oh, God.
what you know is not theirs to dictate.
Confirmation. Oh, you can hear.
Who you listen to.
Yes.
Some of us are so gullible and we go to conferences,
Thank you, Lord.
we go to different things, and we got to be very careful that we are in the place that God wants us to be in, and that we are just not listening for anything that's in the air. You know, you're going to be this married next week. No. I ain't seen a man yet.
People, listen.
No. You got to know who you are in Christ. Okay? Joseph needed to get to Egypt, right? He could not have made it so quickly had he not been sold in slavery. He needed to be in prison. But he would not have been there if Potiphar's wife had not lied to him. Joseph needed to interpret the dreams of the butler and the baker. But he might also a Pharaoh. Christian friends, when God is in the plan, there is no place that his servant can go that he does not go with him. God is with us. God is with us. And that's why I love the old song that says, I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the road.
Watch out.
And the voice I hear falling on my ear, the sound of God is close. And he walks with me. And he talks with me. And he tells me that I am his own. And the joy we carry there, none other has ever known. Trust God and keep on dreaming. You see, God was with Joseph. I got to close it.
Yes, brother.
The master dreamer. And God is with us. He's with each one of us. Be encouraged today. And remember, God does not use our past to determine our future. Yesterday is gone. And tomorrow may never be ours. Jeremiah 29:11 tells us over and over again that he has the plans for our lives. Sisters and brothers, don't give up on your dreams. Ecclesiastes 3 talks to us about seasons in our lives. Keep these things in mind as you go. Maybe you're in a pit today. But seasons do change. There's a time for everything. Perhaps it's a time in your life for a new dream. Perhaps it's a time in your life to do something different. Perhaps the Lord is trying to do a new thing in your life. Remember, all pit experiences are not bad experiences. Remember, Joseph was in the pit, but it was for a good reason. Oh my God, Genesis 50:20 I think says that the brothers meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. So just follow the Lord. He will direct your path. Some of the pit experiences in life are because we weren't paying attention. And we slipped off into the hole that we should have been paying attention. Nevertheless, all pit experiences are not fatal. Okay? Stay focused and remember that God promises never to leave you alone. He paid it all and all to him we owe. Sin had left the crimson stain, but he washed it.
Yes, he did.
He washed it white as snow. And I want to tell you today, he died for us. He was buried for us. He rose for us. And he's coming back again. Sisters and brothers, be encouraged. Don't stop dreaming. Don't give up. There is a bright side somewhere. Yes, I've seen the lightning flashing. And I've heard the thunder roll. I've felt sin's breakers dash. Trying to conquer my soul. And I heard the voice of Jesus telling me still to fight on. He promised. Yes, he is. God.
Yes, bless him.
No matter the test. God is a good God. There's nothing too hard for God. No church fight is too hard for God. No church grumbling is too hard for God. Liars, he can handle them. Nothing's too hard for God. Murmurings, he can handle them. Nothing too hard for God. Bills be paid. Nothing too hard for God.
Hallelujah.
He's a mighty good leader.
He's a mighty. Yeah.
When I think about how far he's brought me. When I think about all he's done for me. Oh, when I think about days when I didn't know how things were going to work out. He brought me. Praise him.
Oh, yeah. Oh,